Today we will study about some of the question and answers related to the lesson physiography and drainage. We have learned about the physiography of India and Brazil and drainage system also about India and Brazil. So let's revise the lesson starting with points to remember. 5 major physiographic division of India. As we have studied, there are major 5 physiographic division of India that are the Himalayas, the North Indian plains, the peninsula, the coastal plains, and island groups. The Himalayas. It is one of the young-pole mountain in the world. Extension of Himalayas is from Pamir North in Tajikistan to the east, Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh in India. Is the extension of Himalayas from Pamir North in Tajikistan to the east and Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh in India. Himalaya ranges from south to north. It's Shivalik and it also known as Lesser Himalaya. Himalaya ranges from young to old. Greater Himalaya and Trans Himalaya. From west to east Himalayas are divided into Western Himalayas. They are also called as Kashmir Himalayas. Central Himalayas. They are also called as Kumaon Himalayas. Eastern Himalayas. Assam Himalayas. Now we will see about North Indian plains. North Indian plains lies between Himalayan mountain in the north and peninsula in the south. It lies between Himalaya mountain in the north and peninsula in the south. Part of North Indian plains lying to the east of Aravallis is Ganga plain. Part of North Indian plains lying to the east of Aravallis, Ganga plain. Delta of Ganga and Brahmaputra system is called as Sundarban. Western part of North Indian plains is called Thar Desert or Morosthali. Area lying to the south of North Indian plains is called as the peninsula. Peninsula lies to the south of North Indian plains. Oldest cold mountain in India is the Aravalli. Aravalli is the oldest cold mountain in India. Length of the coastline of India is about approximately 7,500 kilometers. Eastern coastal plains are formed as a result of depositional work of river. Eastern coastal plains form as a result of depositional work of the river. River originating from Western Ghats. The rivers originating from Western Ghats form estuaries and not deltas. They form estuaries, they do not form deltas. The rivers which are originating from Western Ghats. Island in Arabian Sea are Lakshadweep Island, and island in Bay of Bengal are Andaman and Nicobar Island. Only active volcano in India is Barren Island. Barren Islands are the only active volcano in India. Ma'am? Charushila ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
someone's mic is on, I think so. Voice is coming.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Okay. I've done it.
Okay, ma'am. Now we'll see of the physiographic division of Brazil. The physiographic division of Brazil is also majorly of 5 physiographic divisions. That is the highland, the great escarpment, the coast, the plains, and the island groups. It's the highland, the great escarpment, the coast, the plains, and the island groups. Highest peak in Brazil. The highest peak in Brazil is Pico de Neblina, and its height is about 3014 meters. Pico de Neblina is the highest peak in Brazil, and its height is 3014 meters. Pico de Neblina lies on the border between Brazil and Venezuela. The eastern side of Brazilian highlands is demarcated by the Great Escarpment. The escarpment is very steep from Sao Paulo to Porto Alegre. The rain shadow area in the northeastern part of highland is called drought quadrilateral. Why it is called dot quadrilateral? Because the rain shadow area in the north of eastern part of highland. The northern coast extends from Amapa to Rio Grande north. The plains of Brazil are confined to Amazon basin and Paraguay-Paraná source region. The plains of Brazil are confined to Amazon basin and Paraguay-Paraná source region. Most of the Amazon plains are covered by tropical rainforest. One of the largest wetlands in the world are Fentanyl. Fentanyl is one of the largest wetlands in the world. The marine islands are located at the distance of more than 300 kilometers away from mainland of Brazil. The marine land are located at the distance of more than 300 kilometers away from mainland of Brazil. The length of coastline of Brazil, it's approximately 7,400 kilometers. Length of coastline of Brazil is 7,400 kilometers. Coral islands near the South Atlantic Ocean are in the form of atolls. Coral islands near the coast of South Atlantic Ocean are in the form of atolls. Longest sandy beach in the world. Longest sandy beach in the world is Praia do Cassino, or it is also called as Cassino Beach. Major river basins of Brazil are Amazon Basin, Paraguay-Paraná system, and São Francisco. These are the three major river basins of Brazil. Amazon Basin, Paraguay-Paraná system, and São Francisco. Amazon collects its headwater from eastern slopes of Andes Mountain in Peru. The Amazon River, it collects its headwater. It starts from the eastern slopes of the Andes Mountain in Peru. Discharge of Amazon. The discharge of Amazon is 2 lakh meter cube per second. Part of Brazil where Paraná and Paraguay are located is southwest part. The river Paraná and Paraguay rivers are located in the southwest part of Brazil. Coastal river of Brazil are River Paraniba and River Itapecuru are the coastal rivers of Brazil. Third important river of Brazil is São Francisco. São Francisco is the third important river of Brazil. According to the source region, rivers in India are classified as Himalaya rivers and Peninsula rivers. According to the source region, rivers in India are classified into two types, that is Himalayan rivers and Peninsula rivers. Himalaya rivers are perennial in nature. Major tributaries of river Sindhu is river Jhelum, river Chenab, river Satluj, and river Ravi. These are the major tributaries of river Sindhu. River Satluj originates near Lake Mansarovar. Origin of Ganga river? It's Gangotri Glacier. Major tributary of river Ganga is river Yamuna. River Yamuna originates from Yamunotri Glacier. North of Great Himalayas, Brahmaputra is called river Sangpo. To the north side, Brahmaputra river is called as river Sangpo. In Arunachal Pradesh, Brahmaputra is called as river Dihang. Peninsula rivers are divided as east flowing meeting Bay of Bengal and west flowing meeting Arabian Sea. Peninsula rivers are divided into two types. That is the river flowing to the east side meeting to the Bay of Bengal and river flowing to the west side meeting to the Arabian Sea. Peninsular tributaries of river Ganga. Peninsular tributaries of river Ganga is river Chambal, river Ken, river Betwa, river Stone, and river Damodar. These are the peninsular tributaries of river Ganga. Major water divide in peninsula is Western Ghat. Peninsula rivers are seasonal in nature. Peninsula rivers are seasonal in nature, means as per the season it flows. Major water divide in peninsula is Western Ghats. Peninsula rivers are seasonal in nature. River draining in Gulf of Kambat is river Tapi, Narmada, Mahi, and Sabarmati are the rivers draining in Gulf of Kambat. Second largest river system of India in terms of catchment area, river Godavari. Godavari is the second largest river system of India in terms of catchment area. Major tributaries of river Krishna is river Bhima and river Tungabhadra. These are the two major tributaries of river Ganga. Kaveri river flows through the state of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Backwater of Kerala are called Kayus. The backwater of Kerala are called as Kayus. So these were some of the important points related to lesson. Now we will start with the question and answers. Complete the sentences by choosing the right option. Brazil is covered mainly by dash. Four options are given: highlands, plains, mountainous region, and dissected hills. So the answer is highlands. Brazil is covered mainly by highlands. Second, like Brazil, India too has dash. Like Brazil, India too has dash. And the option high mountains, ancient plateau, west flowing rivers, and snow-capped mountains. And the correct option is ancient plateau. Like Brazil, India too has ancient plateau. Third question. The Amazon basin is mainly dash. And the four options are characterized by droughts, filled by swamps, covered by dense forests, and fertile. And the correct option is covered by dense forest. Amazon basin is mainly covered by dense forest. Fourth one, Amazon is a large river in the world. Near its mouth, dash. The four options are deltic region are found, no deltas are found, deposition of sediments occur, fishing is done. The correct answer is no deltas are found. Amazon is a large river in the world. Near its mouth, no deltas are found. The Lakshadweep Islands of Arabian Sea are dash. The four options given are made from the parts separated from the mainland, coral island, volcanic island, and continental. And the correct answer is coral island. The Lakshadweep Islands in the Arabian Sea are coral islands. To the foothills of Aravallis, dash. And the four options are lies the Bundelkhand Plateau, lies the Mewar Plateau, lies the Malwa Plateau, lies the Deccan Plateau. And the correct option is lies the Mewar Plateau. To the foothills of Aravallis lies the Mewar Plateau. So these were some of the fill in the blanks related to the lesson. Brazil is covered mainly by highlands. Like Brazil, India too has ancient plateau. The Amazon basin is mainly covered by dense forest. Amazon is a large river in the world. Near its mouth, no deltas are found. The Lakshadweep Island of Arabian Sea are coral islands. To the foothills of Aravallis lies the Mewar Plateau. Distinguish between the physiography of Brazil and India. It is a distinguish between the physiography of Brazil and India. The physiography of India, first point. The physiographic division of India are the Himalayas, the North Indian plains, and the peninsula coastal plains, island groups. And of Brazil, the physiographic division of Brazil are the highlands, the Great Escarpment, the coastal region, the plains, and the island. Second point, there are long and high mountain ranges in northern and northeastern part of India in the form of Himalaya ranges. The Western Ghat and the Eastern Ghat lies to the west and east of Peninsula region. The average altitude of Greater Himalayas is around 6,000 meters. And in Brazil, second point is, in Brazil, there is no high and continuous mountain ranges. The eastern side of Himalayas, the eastern side of highlands is demarcated because of escarpment. The Great Escarpment located in the southeastern part of the highlands has an altitude of 790 meters in this region with the plateau with the height gradually decreasing. Third point, in India, the plains occupy a wide area in the north. The plains lies between Himalayas in the north and the peninsula in the south. It extends from Rajasthan in the west to Assam in the east. The coastal plain lies to the west and the east of the peninsula. And in Brazil, we have the Amazon basin in the north and the Parana Paraguay basin to the south, west, which constitute the plains. Also, a narrow coastal plains is confined to the north and the east. Fourth point, the Peninsula Plateau region of India lies to the south of the North Indian Plains and is divided into two groups, the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. And in Brazil, the highlands occupy an extensive area in the south and is described as the Brazilian highland or the Brazilian shield, also to the north of the Guyana highland. And the fifth point, the highland in India are either volcanic or coral in origin, and the islands in Brazil are mainly depositional, and some of them are coral in nature. So in this way, these are the points related to the differentiate between the physiography of Brazil and India. Both have 5 physiographic division. In India, it is the Himalayas, the North Indian plains, the peninsula, the coastal plains and the island groups. And in Brazil, it's the highlands, the great escarpment, the coastal region, the plains and the islands. There are long and high mountains. In India, there are long and high mountain ranges in the northern and the eastern part of India in the form of Himalaya ranges. And in Brazil, there are no high and continuous mountain ranges. The eastern side of the highlands is demarcated because of the escarpment. The Western Ghat and the Eastern Ghat in India lies to the west and the east of Peninsula region. And the Great Escarpment located in the southeastern part of the highland has an altitude of 790 meters. In this region, with the height gradually decreasing, and the average altitude of the Greater Himalayas is around 6,000 meters. In India, the plains occupy a wide range area in the north. And in Brazil, we have the Amazon basin in the north and the Paraguay Parana basin to the southwest, which constitute the plains. And in India, the plains lie between the Himalayas and in the north and the peninsula in the south. It extends from Rajasthan in the west to Assam in the east, and the coastal plain lies to the west and the east of the peninsula. And in Brazil, it is also a narrow coastal plain, is confined to the north and the east. In India, the Peninsula Plateau region of India lies to the south to the North Indian plains and is divided into two groups, and that groups are the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateaus. And in Brazil, the highlands occupy an extensive area in the south and is described as an Brazilian highland, Brazilian shield. So they can be called as any name, Brazilian highland or Brazilian shield, or also to the north is Guyana highlands. The islands in the India are either volcanic or coral in nature, and the islands in Brazil are mainly depositional and some of them are coral in nature. So in this way, you have to learn about the physiography of India and Brazil and differentiate between both the countries. Next question. What measures are taken to control pollution in the rivers of India? As we know, there is various water pollution problem India is facing. So there are some measures carried out to stop the water pollution. So rivers in India are getting polluted due to the sewage and effluents being added to it and thus affecting its quality due to the industrial water or various chemicals that are left in the flow of river. These all affect the quality of the water and produces water pollution. All the water gets polluted. So following are measures being taken to control pollution in the rivers in India. So So we will see one by one what are the measures taken. Treating of the sewage before draining it into the river. The water which is thrown out from the industries, factories, or the chemicals, harmful chemicals, that should be treated before uh, leaving it in the river water. Reducing the use of pesticides and insecticides as they drain into the water sources and pollute. There should be less use of pesticides and insecticides because that are the main sources which can also pollute the water in various or large quantity. And it's very harmful to water. Discharge of industrial effluent into rivers without proper treatment is now controlled. All the discharge of the dirty water or polluted chemicals, fertilizers, that is left into the rivers. So because of that, the water of the river all get polluted. It's full of chemicals. It's very harmful. So proper treatment is given to that dirty water, and then it is flown in the river. But now, with proper treatment, it is controlled. So the discharge of industrial influent into river without proper treatment is now controlled. Reusing the water for different purposes, which reduces the overuse and pollution of water. Water should be reused for the different purposes. So this can reduce the overuse and the pollution of water also. Carrying out the cleaning and purification of the river water under the National River Conservation Plan. There is a plan of National River Conservation Plan to save rivers from pollution. So cleaning and purification process of rivers are carried out under this plan, the National River Conservation Plan. Creating awareness in the people about the importance of river and harmful effect of pollution. There is very much need to create awareness among the people because human beings makes the water polluted for satisfying his needs. So there should be awareness in the people related to the water, related to the rivers, related to the nature to stop the pollution. It's very much important. So first there must be awareness in the people, in the society related to the pollution of rivers. Setting up of pollution control boards. The pollution control boards are to be set up at the public and national level to curb pollution, to stop the pollution, to create awareness. Boards should be created and set to create awareness among the people. So these are the measures taken to control the water pollution in the rivers in India. Treating the sewage before drainage it into the river, reducing the use of pesticides and insecticides as they drain into the water sources and pollute it, discharge of industrial effluent into rivers without proper treatment is now controlled, reusing the water for different purposes which reduces the overuse and pollution of water, carrying out the cleaning and purification of the river water under the National River Conservation Plan, creating awareness in the people about the importance of river and harmful effect of pollution, setting up the pollution control boards, PCB, at the state and national levels to curb pollution. So these are the measures should be followed and taken to control the pollution in India. Explain the characteristics of North Indian plains. The division lies between Himalaya mountains in the north and the peninsula in the south. The North Indian plains, they lies between the Himalayas in the north and the peninsula in the south. Similarly, it extends from Rajasthan and Punjab in the west to Assam in the east. It extends from the North Indian plains. It extends from Rajasthan and Punjab in the west to Assam in the east. It is mostly a flat low-lying area. The North Indian plains are the flat low-lying area. The North Indian plains are divided into two parts. It is divided into two parts. The part lying to the east of the Aravallis is known as the basin of Ganga river and is therefore known as the Ganga plains. Its slope eastward. Most of the West Bengal state of India and Bangladesh together constitute the deltas of Ganga-Brahmaputra system. It is known as the Sundarbans. It is considered to be the world's largest delta. As we all know, we have studied that the Sundarban is the world's largest delta. Most of the West Bengal state of India and Bangladesh together constitute the delta of Ganga Brahmaputra system. It is known as the Sundarbans. It is considered to be the world's largest state. The western part of the North Indian plains is occupied by the desert. The western part of the North Indian plains is occupied by the desert. It is also known as the Thar Desert or Marustali. Most of the Rajasthan is occupied by the desert. To the north of the desert lies the plains of Punjab. This region is spread out to the west of Aravallis and Delhi range. To the north of the desert, there are the plains of Punjab, and this region spread to the west of Aravallis and Delhi ranges. These plains are formed as a result of depositional work by river Satluj and its tributaries. So the plains are formed is as the result of depositional work done by the river Satluj and its tributaries. The slope of the plain is towards the west side. These plains which are formed, its slope is towards the west direction. So this is the main characteristic of North Indian plains. The division lies between Himalaya mountains in the north and the peninsula in the south. Similarly, it extends from Rajasthan and Punjab in the west to Assam in the east. It is mostly a flat, low-lying area. The North Indian plains are divided into two parts. The part lying to the east of the Aravallis is the basin of the Ganga and is therefore known as the Ganga plains. Its slope east. Most of the West Bengal state of India and Bangladesh together constitute the delta of Ganga-Brahmaputra system. It is known as the Sundarbans. It is considered to be the world's largest delta. The western part of North Indian plains is occupied by the desert. It is also known as the Thar Desert or Marustali. Most of the Rajasthan is occupied by this desert. To the north of the desert lie the plains of Punjab. This region is spread to the west of Aravallis and in Delhi ranges. These plains have formed as the result of the depositional work by river Satluj and its tributaries. The slope of the plain is towards the west. Next question is, what could be the reason behind the formation of swamps in the extensive continental location of Fentanyl? So what is the reason behind the formation of swamps? And the answer to this is, Fentanyl is one of the largest wetland in the world. Fentanyl is the largest wetland in the world. It's lying in the south part of the highland area. It is the world's largest wetland and it lies to the southwest part of the highland area. It is the region of swamps and the marshes in the northwestern part of Mato Grosso do Sul in Brazil, and it extends into Argentina too. It is the region of swamps and marshes. It's a wetland in northwestern part of Mato Grosso do Sul in Brazil, and it extends into Argentina too. This region is drained by the river Paraguay and its tributaries. So the water in this area, it gets its water from river Paraguay and its tributaries. They collect the water from the highland areas and deposit the sediments in the low-lying Fentanyl region. Water is collected from the highland areas and then that it is deposited in the low-lying Fentanyl region. Fentanyl is a gently sloped basin which is submerged throughout the year. due to the filling of sediments and water in the depression area of the Pantano. Pantanals are the gentle slope basin which is submerged throughout the year. Throughout the year it is submerged. It is a gentle slope due to filling of sediments and water in the depression area of the Pantano. Why it is marshy and wetlands? Because throughout the year it collects water. Water is get submerged, water is get insert in it, water in the depression area of the Pantano. So it is wetland throughout the year. For whole year it is wet because it collects water, it submerged under in the water. So this is the reason behind the formation of swamps in the extensive continental location of Pantano. Pantano is one of the largest wetland in the world, lying in the southwest part of the highland areas. It is a region of swamps and marshes in the northwestern part of Mato Grosso do Sul in Brazil, and it extends into Argentina. The region is drained by the river Paraguay and tributaries. They collect the water from the highland areas and deposit the sediments in the low-lying Pantanal region. Pantanal is a greatly sloped basin. It is submerged throughout the year due to the fillings of the sediments and water in the depression area of the Pantanal. Next question. Which are the major water divide of India? Giving example. The major water divide of India. The mountain or an upland which separate two drainage basin is known as water divide. The major water divides are Western Ghat, Vindhya Ranges, Aravalli Ranges, and Satpura Ranges. The mountain or an upland which separate two drainage basins. The mountain separate the two drainage basin is known as water divide. Means the water is divided into two parts. So it's called as water divide and it is in the two parts. The major water divides in India are Western Ghat. The Western Ghat act as a water divide and separate the west flowing rivers like Zauri, Mandvi, Vetarna drainage into the Arabian Sea. From the east flowing rivers, the Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri drainage into the West Bengal, into the Bay of Bengal. The Western Ghat. The Western Ghat act as a water divide and separate the west flowing rivers like Zauri, Mandvi, Vetarna drainage into the Arabian Sea. So this river flows and meets to the Arabian Sea. From the east flowing rivers like Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri, this river meets to the Bay of Bengal. Vindhya Ranges. It divides the drainage basin of the river Ganga and the river Narmada. Vindhya Range, it divides the drainage basin of the river Ganga and river Narmada. Aravalli Ranges. The Aravalli Ranges separate the west flowing river Luni from the east flowing river Banas. The Aravalli Ranges separate the west flowing river Luni and the east flowing river Banas. Satpura Ranges. The Satpura Ranges separate the Narmada drainage basin and the Tapi drainage basin. Means it is divided by the Satpura Range, the river Narmada and river Tapi drainage. So these are the major water divide in India. Western Ghat, Vindhya Range, Aravalli Range, and the Satpura Range. This divides the water sources, which divides the river. Western Ghat, the Western Ghat act as the water divide and separate the west flowing rivers like Gauri, Mandvi, Vetarna drainage into the Arabian Sea, and the east flowing rivers, the Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri drainage into the Bay of Bengal. Vindhya Ranges, it divides the drainage basin of the river Ganga and the river Narmada. Aravalli Ranges, the Aravalli Ranges separate the west flowing rivers Luni from the east flowing rivers Banu. Satpura Ranges, the Satpura separate the Narmada drainage basin and the Tapi drainage. So in this way, today we have studied about some of the points which we have to remember related to the lesson. of physiography of Brazil and India and the drainage of Brazil and India. We have seen about the fill in the blank, the differentiate between the physiography of Brazil and India, measures to be taken to control the pollution in the rivers of India, and the characteristics of North Indian plain, and the reason behind the formation of swamps in the extensive continental location of Fentanyl, and the major water divide of India, giving examples also. In the next period, we will study some of the further questions, write short note and give reason. So if you have any doubts, unmute your mic and ask the question. If you have any doubts, students, unmute your mic and ask the question.
गुड मॉर्निंग मिस।
हाँ, good morning, बेटा.
मिस मेरे को ना ये पीडीएफ चाहिए, क्या आप मुझे दोगे?
Okay, I will just ask to my subject head and I will share. Okay.
ओके टीचर, थैंक यू।
Welcome. Yes, Rizwana Sheikh. Rizwan Sheikh. Ask the question.
Rizwan Sheikh, unmute yourself. Rizwan, unmute yourself. You're raising your hand. Ask the question.
No doubt.
Hand. Okay, lower your hand. Lower your hand. Those who are having doubts, raise your hand. Students, a topic which is taught by the teacher. If you're having any doubts, raise your hand. Ask your doubts. Get your doubts cleared. Ma'am, no one is raising their hand.
Yes, ma'am.
But still we have 3 minutes. Can you revise
Yes, ma'am. Okay,
again, or you can show the slides?
okay, ma'am. I will do.
Yeah.
So we will again revise about the differentiate between the physiography of Brazil and India. The 5 main physiographic division of India: the Himalayas, the North Indian plains, the peninsula, the coastal plains, and the island groups. And of Brazil, it is the highlands, the great escarpment, the coastal region, the plains, and the islands. There are no highlands and continuous mountain ranges in Brazil. The eastern side of highland is demarcated because of the escarpment. The great escarpment located in the southeastern part of the highland has an altitude of 790 meters in this region, with the height gradually decreasing. And in India, there are long and high mountains. In Brazil, there are no high mountains. In India, there are long and high mountain ranges in the northern and the northeastern part of India in the form of Himalaya ranges. The Western Ghat and the Eastern Ghat lies to the west and east of Peninsula region. The average altitude of Greater Himalayas is around 6,000 meters. In India, the plains occupy a wide area in the north. The plains between Himalayas in the north and the peninsula in the south, and it extends from Rajasthan in the west to Assam in the east. The coastal plain lies to the west and east of peninsula. In Brazil, we have the Amazon basin in the north and the Parana-Paraguay basin to the south, to the southwest, which constitute the plain. Also, a narrow coastal plain is confined to the north and the east. The Peninsula Plateau region of India lies to the south of the North Indian Plains and is divided into two groups, the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateaus. In Brazil, the highlands occupy an extensive area in the south and is described as the Brazilian highland or the Brazilian shield, also to the north in the Guyana highland. The islands in India are either volcanic or coral in origin. The islands in Brazil are mainly depositional, and some of them are coral in nature. In just a short, we will see about the measures taken to control pollution in the river of India. Treating the sewage before drainage it into the river, reducing the use of pesticides and insecticides as they drain into the water source and pollute it. Discharge of industrial effluent into river without proper treatment is now controlled. Reusing the water for different purposes, which reduces the overuse of pollution of water. Carrying out the cleaning and purification of the river water under the National River Conservation Plan. Creating awareness in the people about the importance of river and harmful effect of pollution. Setting up the pollution control boards at the state and the national levels to curb pollution. So in this way, we have studied about some of the brief question and answers of this lesson. In the next period, we will see the further question and answer. If you're having doubts, ask. Yes, Busra Sheikh, ask the question. Bushra Sheikh, unmute your mic and ask the question.
No, ma'am, she's not asking anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Kalyan, no. I think by mistake they're raising their hands. It's okay.
Okay, ma'am.
We'll wind up here now.
Okay, ma'am. I will play
Can
the
you
video,
play the
ma'am.
video?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Can we stop here, ma'am?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank